All right, so we're talking about preparation for kingdom marriage. And I did a live on this. It's about an hour long. But if you are just looking for just a real quick in and out, I got this 10-minute video I'm doing, but I also have a 1-minute short. So I'm going to try to pack this all in because the live was like an hour long. But in preparation for your kingdom marriage, it's so important that you don't look at a whole bunch of worldly stuff, because the way how the world wants to prepare you for marriage is so different than the way how the Lord wants to prepare you. You see, the world wants you to identify what it is that you need and then look for that in another. And if they're not giving you what you need, to move on. See, what kingdom actually says is that the king is going to reveal to you who he desires you to be with. And then from that, trusting the Lord with who he desires you to be with. And first and foremost, I need you to be able to become the person I've called you to be. I need you to allow them to be who it is that I've called them to be. And when there's conflict, when there's issues, that's not a pass or an indication that you need to leave. That is an indicator that you need to bring something to me, and I need to show you how to navigate it and give you strategy to overcome. See, oftentimes we look at this preparation as an interplay with another person, as engagement, as interaction with another person. And the Lord is like, it starts with you. So let's talk about, there's 3 steps that we want to be able to do to be able to prepare for our kingdom spouse. And I'm going to just give it to you off rip. So that way, if you want to click off, you can. I get it. I understand it. The first one, or just so you know, it can be prepared, right? The first one is to heal yourself. The second one is to heal from your past relationship. And the third one is to be able to have an understanding of what you want your relationship to be like with this next person, and make sure that you are planting good seeds, you're watering the ground, you're feeding it, and you're nurturing it so you can develop that fruit, right? I want to be able to get out of what I pour into it. So those are the 3 things. The first thing you got to do is you got to be able to heal yourself. You got to do that work on yourself. You don't want to enter into that relationship with that next individual having to complete the healing work in you or having to help you do it. That's not their responsibility. You don't want to show up with them needing to validate you and reassure you and make you feel beautiful and make you feel worthy. No, you should already feel that going into that relationship. It is unfair to put that off on them. You see, you've got to be able to work through some of these things you feel about yourself so that you can heal. And one of the ways to do that is to simply work through all of those past hurts and traumas that you've had so that you can heal. And I've talked about many ways to do this on my channel before, and it's reading books, reading scripture, reading articles, praying, journaling, reflecting. The truth about myself is, and just working through these difficult things and inviting the Lord in to do it with you, to provide you with healing. You can also take the time to think about, who is the person that I want to become? I want to become more loving. I want to become more calm. I want to have a quiet and gentle spirit. I want to become less reactive. See, so with all these things that you want to become, start doing research, start practicing, start actually doing the the actions, performing the steps needed for that. If I want to have a gentle and quiet spirit, then I need to cut out the noise all day and I need to be in quiet. If I want to be calm, I need to be in calmness. I need to be able to think through these things that provide irritations and frustrations and find resolve so that I could show up calm. You see what I'm saying? There's things that I want to do and I need to do myself in order to show up a certain way in the world. So who is it that I want to become and do the work so that I could become that? And this is the healing you need to do for yourself, right? The second thing that you need to be able to do, and a part of that first thing before I move on, is healing, finding your voice, being able to speak up, being able to be radically yourself, being able to be firmly established, and being able to have that pride in who you are and the work that you put into it, that it's too expensive to abandon yourself at any moment. This is all the healing work you got to do for yourself. The second thing you got to do is you got to be able to heal from your past relationship. So what are those things that they did to you that made you feel a certain kind of way? Maybe they hid you, right? Because they didn't feel like you were beautiful. They didn't feel like you were worthy enough to actually represent them. They made you feel ugly. They may have made you feel like you were lacking intelligence, that you were dumb, that you were not smart, that they were on a different level of understanding than you. You got to be able to identify that and see how all those things created something within you, because you may find a pattern. You may see that they created low self-esteem with you, insecurities within you that you got to address and you got to deal with. If you don't, you will try to overcompensate for that in the next relationship and go in the completely opposite direction and may come off as combative or aggressive because this person is like, why are they so like this? Like, what is going on here? The other thing you need to do is determine what you did to that individual to make them feel a certain way. You could have made them feel incompetent, small, unworthy of your respect, feeling like they had poor character, they were arrogant, they were vain, they were all these things. And you've imparted things on them that they now have to deal with and work through. Now they have low self-esteem and insecurities in these areas. We want to be able to acknowledge what both did to each other because you want to be able to operate in forgiveness. I want to forgive. I want to be able to see I had a part, they had a part. We failed to honor each other in a certain way. I forgive them, I forgive me, and to move on. You don't want to bring unforgiveness into a new relationship. So the reason why you don't want to bring unforgiveness into a new relationship is because you're going to bring this victim mentality into your new relationship. You're going to bring this hyper focus on what they did. Oh, well, they did this to me. They didn't do that to me. Then they did this. Then they did that. That's how you're going to talk about your partner. And what this person is going to have to do is they're going to have to help you with the healing, number one, because they're going to see that that's going to impact their relationship and try to help you to see their side of it. They're also going to see that, man, this person is like, doesn't take responsibility. They're always looking at another person to blame. They're looking at the faults in the other, and they're going to feel like they're going to be doomed from jump, right? So you want to come healed from a past relationship and offer them forgiveness, right? And you can make this presentation that, you know what, they messed up and I messed up. We weren't able to recover from it, but I understand and I've learned from it, and I pray that they learn from it too. That's such a better place to come from. You also need to be able to do the work to be able to heal from some of those things that they did to you that you still have to struggle with. I'm gonna do a part 2.